Hey, my name's Peter. Peter Thor Watson from Comox. And this is my great old ship, the Providence, 103 years old. This is a wooden boat festival, but I tell you why we're here. My wife and myself left Comox last night at midnight because the forecast for the weekend was rain and gray clouds. And we heard it's going to be sunshine in Vancouver. Can you believe it? And here it is. So we got down here. It took us 10 hours, and here I am, blabbering away. So anyway, she's 103 years old, and yeah, she's actually 105. 1903, built in Denmark. And I've had her for 30 years. I brought her over in 1978. And all you see here is stuff that I've done with her. New masts, wheelhouses, decks, you name it. Rigging, sails, 32 trees to be exact. 32 trees, yeah. Cut planks and frames and put them in. It's ongoing. There are more trees to do. She's 64 feet on deck. If you want to count the bowsprit, which is out here at the end, that 20-foot fir pole, then she's 79 feet overall. So yeah, as I was saying, there's 32 trees in here, and part of those trees is the wheelhouse. I put that wheelhouse on in 1980 in Brentwood Bay, Vancouver Island. And the doors on the starboard side. Some wheelhouses have doors on port side and starboard side. By the way, the starboard side is looking forward, is the right-hand side of the vessel, and the port side is the left-hand side of the vessel. So if you come on down, I'll go in the wheelhouse door on the starboard side. Okay, we're inside the wheelhouse, and as you can see, there's a table here which seats 6 people in relative comfort. You can sit down here and look outside, which a lot of sailing vessels don't have this feature. You're down below in the submarine. Well, we have this wheelhouse on the upper deck. And it also houses the fuses and the televisions and the radios and radars. And she is 105 years old, but we do navigate with a laptop computer, and it's a wonderful addition. And yeah, this is where a lot of time is spent. VHF radios, GPS, 24-mile radar, CBs, depth sounders, and all these charts, which as you can see are pretty old. And now that I have this little creature, these charts are a backup, let's say. But they were all used at one time, for sure. So now we're down below, and this is you would call this the main salon. There's settees on both sides and upper berths, and there's a beautiful old Gary oak table, which is just a classic piece of wood. It's Canadian oak, and yeah, and then the mast that we saw outside comes right through the deck and sits down on the keel. At one time, this used to be a fish hold, I might add. I earned a living with this boat for 14 years, and this used to be 20 tons of sockeye salmon and herring in the herring season. So when she turned 100 years old in 2003, I decided that's enough work for her, so I bought another vessel to continue the fish packing and took the fish hold out, and voila, there we go. Now we're going to pack her with people. And we have a little sleeping cabin over on this side. It's a double berth. It's cozy, but it's what you want anyway. Who needs a lot of room? Here we have the galley, which, other than along with the engine, is the heart of the ship, because the people need the food, and the engine needs service. So here's the galley. This is a really good working galley, because right here is the water line. This is the water level. So from here down, my hand down, we're underwater. So from just under my chest, we're underwater. So there's not a lot of motion in here. This is a really good working galley. Sink, all stainless counter. We have over there 4-burner gas stove with an oven, pots and pans, and of course we have cupboards just like you all do in your homes. Everything's a little miniature, but there's good coffee in there, and we have our espresso machine. Gotta have that espresso. My wife's Italian, you see. Not sure whether you can get all this engine in. I call her Penny. It's a Volvo Penta, and it's 160 horsepower, and it pushes Providence along at a comfortable 9 knots, burning approximately 4 gallons, 22 liters per hour. So with the price of diesel these days, I like to sail if I can, even though it's a relatively economical engine. And that's the engine room. It's tight, but we've got tools up on the coaming. We've got chargers and inverters and everything to keep her going and make her work. Okay, so we had the wheelhouse for inclement weather, where we can be inside. And when the weather is as beautiful as it is today here in Vancouver, we have the outside steering for when we're sailing, so that we can view the sails as we're sailing along to make sure everything is set properly and the sails are drawing as they should. And it's a great place to be when the weather's like this. So there you've got the Providence, my ship, 30 years, a labor of love. She's my mistress. She's compiles a lot of everything. And we're here over in the Vancouver Wooden Boat Festival with my wife, who you've missed. She's not here. She's away walking her dog. And glad to be here, and no doubt we'll return for the next one.